Good morning, folks. Let's make some beer. I'm brewing up a Yuengling Lager clone today, which is cool. I'm doing it because, well, I can. And I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to give this one particular beer a try. The grist on this is 8 pounds of Pilsner, 1 pound of Carapils, a half a pound of Crystal 60, and a pound of flaked maize. I'm going to be using Select Spalt, 1 ounce for 60 minutes, and I am going to use a half ounce of Cluster in the last 10 minutes. And I'm going to ferment this out with Safe Lager S23. There we go. Okay. Got my sparge water heating up out there. This is now at the temperature that I want it to be at. In goes the grist. So I know pretty much I got to be at, at least 3 gallons of water to get above my the probe of the thermometer. Set that in there. This is the flaked corn. I'm going to go ahead and put this in now as well. Save that little bit for the top. And we'll mash this up, or mix this all up real nice. No dough balls. I am at just a little over 3 gallons of water for my strike. And I'm going to be at 5 gallons of water for my sparge. That gives me a 7-gallon yield off of this that I can boil away, a gallon and a half, somewhere in that general area of liquid. Because I would like this to be a full, when all said and done, I really want this to be a full 5-gallon keg. And goes the rest of that. Get rid of that. Get this mixed up real nice. And this is Optimash. This is a liquid thermostable alpha alumase from a classical strain of Bacillus licheniformis. Say that 3 times fast. Breaks down starch and adjuncts like corn, rice, wheat, sorghum, creating more fermentable sugar. And this goes right in the mash. Where to add? Mash. Temperature 176. It can be up higher, as long as it doesn't go above 176. So, in we go. Perfect. I'm going to give that another nice little stir. Kind of fitting to have my Yuengling Lager banners and posters up. Well, I'm brewing a Yuengling Lager. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start warloffing this just to check the color out. Basically, I'm just going to pour this in over top of this little lid that I have all the holes in. She's starting to clear up nicely. And you can see there's the pot. So really all I'm doing is just going from one pitcher to the next, like so, and just pouring that in. Just like that. We're maintaining a nice 1.5 to 2-inch bed. I'm using my thermometer to just kind of hold this onto the plate so we don't have any channeling. It goes HLT into the mash tun, where we're maintaining a 2-inch bed of hot water on top of the grain bed, and into the boil kettle. This is your typical 3-tier gravity feed brewing system. Alright. We're just now hitting the boil. In goes the Select Spalt 4 ounce for 4 ounce for 60 minutes. So I'm using this chiller that was sent to me by Brewing. And I'm really liking it. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to order a couple of them to keep at the store. Because I think they work great with these 5-gallon batches. It is a chiller that has like edges on it. It's like corrugated. So it gives you more surface area. Not only do you have the coil, but it gives you more surface area within that coil. It's just very well made. I like the connections on it. You can hook your hose to it, and you can hook a small hose to the other end to, to direct your water out. And it's been chilling my wort down, pretty quick. It's actually working better than when I made my homemade. Been a pretty good brew day so far. I've got this down. We're down to about 88 degrees. I'll be taking it in here shortly. I want to get her down a little bit closer to 80 before I bring it in and transfer it over into the fermenter. Then I'm going to be pitching the Safe Lager S23 is the yeast I'm going to be using. And that makes it kind of a lager. I can full out lager with that. But what I'm going to do is actually let it ferment out. And then I might actually try and cold lager it afterwards. So it'll be kind of a hybrid lager. Actually more along the lines of a steam beer, to be honest. I was going to do a comparison on these beers. Why not? Well, right off the bat, you can see that the Yuengling Lager, the traditional Yuengling Lager, is a shade redder than what my lager is. Head retention is about the same, but you also saw I had to really work that one up to get a head on it, which is to be expected. I just threw that in the keg. Well, it's been in the keg, but it hasn't really been charging until kind of just now for the most part. So that head will actually get a little bit better as time goes on. Let's go in for a smell, shall we? Yeah, traditional adjunct smell, a little bit of corn, malts, really nothing hoppy. The aromas are very similar. So right off the bat, I can see that I want to actually darken this up just a touch. So I could increase the crystal, maybe make it a full pound, or I could jump it up to maybe 120, add a little bit of 120, or maybe even throw in a handful of chocolate. That would give me more of a reddish hue. So nose-wise, they are very similar. Listen, the traditional lagers does have a bit more of a nose to it. So how do I want to do this? I want to just dive into the Yuengling Lager's traditional lager. Yuengling, it's actually DE. I don't even think they use the DE Yuengling and Sons anymore. It's just Yuengling. Yeah, it is America's oldest brewery. Yeah, DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. That's our local brewery. I like Yuengling. Always have. One thing I noticed with the Yuengling Lager, they do a fairly decent job of mixing a little bit of malt sweetness along with the adjuncts that they put in. Let's dive into the Little Face Lager. Very similar. With that said, Little Face Lager is a little bit thinner. Wow. This is a really good comparison. I'm getting almost the exact same flavor profile, just on a lighter side of my lager versus the Yuengling. I could probably up the corn a little bit. I am at 5.9%, so my ABV, ooh, I know another way. I could kind of sweeten, add a little more body. I could throw some maltodextrin in there to add a little bit of body to it. Maybe even a touch of melanoidine. Yeah. And that would actually help the color as well. Yeah, it's funny. It is the same flavor profile. This one's a little bit got more body to it than mine. But all in all, pretty nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to call this a success. So I came up with my version of a lager, which I really like. I would consider this a light lager, although it is 6%, 5.9, but light in body and mouthfeel. Yeah, that's fun. I'm pretty close. Matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I like this recipe just the way it is. It is a very easy drinking light lager that's got a high ABV to it. So that's pretty cool. My next one might be trying to come up with my version of the Lord Chesterfield Ale. That one intrigues me because I think Yuengling's Lord Chesterfield is a very solid beer. It's pretty cool. This is S.J. Poor, Little Face Brewing. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, folks. Brew beer. Brew wonderful, wonderful beer. Cheers.